We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Issue 1. This was story and art by Mark Silvestri, colors by Arif Prianto, letters by Troy Pateri, cover by Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto, edited by Ben Mears and Rob Levin, group editor Chris Conroy. So somebody has kidnapped Harley Quinn and is keeping her in a pit. And then we jump over to the Bowery where Detective Bullock is investigating the very bizarre death of a man who was literally ripped apart, a former Gotham City police officer. Batman is investigating, and some of the police down below are wondering why Batman's being involved in this instead of them, but a lot of the cops in Gotham are corrupt, so they really can't be trusted. Batman comes across a suspect while on his way to another crime scene, and it looks like some sort of mutated version of the Joker. Now, Batman has this really cool weapon of drones with tasers on them, but they don't seem to have a whole lot of impact. Even when the SWAT team takes a couple shots at this creature, it seems to take it in stride. And it's then that the Joker pops up and seeks some help from Batman to find Harley Quinn. Now, are these two things interconnected? It would appear they are. And it's quite possible that the Joker has Commissioner Gordon as a blackmail hostage for this scenario. So it looks like there's going to be a very bizarre team up to find Harley Quinn and put a stop to these murders. And I have to admit, this was a fantastic story. I was really impressed. Not only is the art outstanding, the story was probably one of the best Batman stories I've read in the last 10 years. It's got a feel of the 90s that I really miss in comic storytelling, where there's action, excitement, the hero looks cool, there's not a lot of standing around navel gazing, he's just out doing cool stuff and fighting bad guys. So while I think the cover is a very solid cover, it is more of a pinup and could have used a little bit of action. It is really well done, and the interior art matches that quality, and I would say exceeds the quality of the cover. So I'm absolutely going to recommend this. It's on really nice quality paper, and the price point of $5 didn't bother me a single bit. Definitely check this book out. It is a lot of fun. It was a great read. The art's fantastic. The story's amazing so far, and I'm really looking forward to issue 2. And if DC would do more stuff like this, I think more people would be buying DC. So hopefully they take a lesson from this and produce more high quality work like this, and maybe get Mark Silvestri on one of the regular Bat books. Even if he's not doing the art, he's at least writing the story or the art. I think it would improve Batman books quite a bit. So give this a look and see what you think, but I really enjoyed this one. That'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one. Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo. This is from DC Comics under their Black Label imprint. Story and art by Mark Silvestri, colors by Arif Prianto, letters by Troy Pateri, cover by Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto, edited by Ben Mears and Rob Levin, group editor Chris Conroy. So Gordon is being held hostage by unknown people, and looks like there's going to be some torture involved. Meanwhile, Batman and the Joker are having a banter when some more of the crazy, creepy people show up. One of them bites Batman, and it starts to give him these like disorientation and weakness spells, and he has to program the Batmobile to get him home. Thankfully, Dick Grayson's on scene to help Alfred out, and they put Joker in this chair with like a gimp mask on and some headphones so he can listen to some ABBA. But Batman had to recover from this nasty infection that he got from a tooth that got embedded in his skin, and it's something they've never seen before. It's got multiple DNA strands and some other jargon, but just as things look like they're going nowhere, Batman gets a lead and finds what appears to be a possible hideout, but it turns out there's two people in peril and he may only be able to save one of them. Meanwhile, there's problems back at the Batcave, and Nightwing may be in some serious trouble. Overall, it was a really good story. The art is phenomenal. It's great Mark Silvestri art. I really like this story so far. It was a lot of fun, a bit dark at times, but solid story. We'll see how it plays out next last issue, and there are some pages at the back where there's no color, and it's just the inking, and it looks really cool. I like the coloring a little better, personally, but as a black and white story, it could work really well, too. Overall, a solid book. I will definitely recommend this. So far, it is really, really interesting and fun, and I'm hoping the rest of the series goes the same way. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one. Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Book 3. This is from DC Comics, story and art by Mark Silvestri, colors by Arif Prianto, letters by Troy Pateri, cover by Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto, edited by Ben Mears and Rob Levin, group editor Chris Conroy. So after the events of last issue, Alfred and Nightwing have to track down this sample that seems to have escaped, and what it turns into is pretty horrific. And Batman learns a lot from it, but before that, Batman has to deal with this puzzle that was intended for the Joker, and it's largely a no-win situation and pretty disturbing. It's not going to help the villains to enrage Batman on this level. Meanwhile, another murder has happened, and Bullock is investigating that, and we see that the head is missing like the last time. Meanwhile, Bruce has a lead, and he goes to talk to the head of Simtech, and Wayne Enterprises is a major stakeholder in Simtech, so he's able to go straight to the head guy and talk to him. Now, Batman has a pretty good idea of who's behind these fake Jokers. He has to team up with the Joker to save Gordon, but a new enemy has been added to the bad guys list. And I have to say, this continues to be a really, really fun Batman story. Very high quality stuff, great art. Cover on this one, not my favorite, but it does kind of relate to what's going on in the book. Joker does have to wear that mask for quite a bit of the story because he's stuck at the Batcave, and that's how they keep him from seeing anything. Kind of funny in a way. The art on the other hand is fantastic. Silvestri has not lost his touch. I like his style quite a bit here, and I think it works really, really well for the story they were telling. He has a very good understanding of Batman, and that actually really surprised me. I was afraid this book was going to start getting stupid, but it's held up really well. It's a very straightforward action-adventure story with some good twists and turns, and I think it's holding up really, really well. So I think this has the potential to be one of the better Black Label books, and also a classic Batman story. So if you get a chance to check this out, I would absolutely recommend it. This was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping the payoff is as good as the rest of the story, because so far, this is probably my favorite Batman book out there now. This has the makings of a classic, and I'm really excited to read issue 4. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one. Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Book 4. Story and art by Mark Silvestri, colors by Arif Prianto, letters by Troy Pateri, cover by Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto, edited by Ben Mears and Rob Levin, group editor Chris Conroy. So we discover the background on why the person behind all of this is so angry. He blames Batman for failing to stop the Joker from killing people that he loved, when in fact it was more this Officer Bennett from the SWAT team that really set that all in motion. But he doesn't care about that. He blames Gotham PD, the city itself more or less, and Batman. And that's why he has Harley Quinn, and apparently why he may have Jim Gordon as well. Well, the latest task that Batman and Joker have to do is to stop a train, but they can't decouple it. They have to bring it down to its original weight, as if the thing were empty. And there's a wedding full of people on there, so they have to figure it out. So Batman at first starts having them throw furniture out, and that doesn't really work. So the solution becomes a little bit more exotic, and the Joker decides to pitch in by throwing some fat people off the train. Meanwhile, Nightwing and Catwoman are on an espionage mission, and they uncover some more truths, but there might be a really dark motivation here. And it looks like Gordon might be missing a few more parts. Overall, this was a great issue. Really dynamic. It's a very mature book. There's some pretty gruesome stuff in here, but the art is amazing, and it's really well written. written on top of that, which is a very, very difficult to find thing with Batman books, is to have that combination. So I highly recommend this. It is turning out to be a very amazing, fun ride, and with only a few more issues to go, I can't wait to see how it plays out. So I'm definitely going to recommend this book. I am having a lot of fun reading it, and I didn't feel cheated for my money, even if it does seem like it is a bit short. Paper quality's fantastic, the story's amazing, the art's amazing, cover image is pretty fun too. You really can't get much better than that. If you get a chance to read this, I would definitely recommend it. That'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one.
We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Issue 5. Story and art by Mark Silvestri, colors by Arif Prianto, letters by Troy Pateri, cover by Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto, edited by Ben Mears and Rob Levin, group editor Chris Conroy. The cover's okay, it does relate to what's going on in the book, so if you like the cover, you will see something similar in the book. Now the Joker cloned things strike again and take another victim. And we get a little bit of a flashback of what happened at that wedding where everything went wrong and what happened with Batman and what he tried to do. When he spots one of these fiendish things going into the tunnels underneath where some bad things happened and he tracked it down, he manages to get Tracer on there. But back at the Batcave, Batgirl has found out that the Joker is in the Batcave and she tries to kill him. And she almost does, but her and Bruce have a long heart-to-heart that is not exactly the most pleasant of conversations. Meanwhile, Batman figures out a little bit more about these creatures, and he gives the Joker a special suit to help him while they go down into the tunnels and through this field of what appear to be failed experiments. And we see a very horrific scene. There is a reunion, and it looks like things are not going to go well. So the Deadly Duo are really outnumbered and facing off with some pretty horrific things. This issue was really well done. The art is fantastic. The story's good. It's a pretty dark story, so I highly recommend getting this. So far this series has been fantastic, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'll probably get it in a collected format, and I would recommend that, but the single issues work out great. They do recap enough that if you do happen to jump in on this issue, it does a good enough job kind of bringing you up to speed. I think you could enjoy it on its own. You'll miss a lot, but the basic outline of what's going on is in there, because Mark Silvestri understands how comic books work. So I would say check this out. It's a great book. It's a really fun Batman adventure. Unlike so many lately in the past few years, this one is actually good. So if you get a chance to check it out, please do so. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.
We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Book 6. There's only 7 parts in this story, so we're creeping up there. This is story and art by Mark Silvestri, colors by Arif Prianto, letters by Troy Pateri, cover by Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto, edited by Ben Mears and Rob Levin, group editor Chris Conroy. We get a recap of what Batman has learned so far. In last issue at the end, we learned who was really behind everything and what her machinations are. Now, she is out for revenge, and it turns out, shockingly, the Joker is betraying Batman once again. He's even betraying Harley Quinn, which she seems to just kind of not be happy about, but tolerates. Batman has some tricks up his sleeve, but his utility belt is taken from him initially, and these creatures are pretty resilient. Thankfully, Gordon is there, and Batman brought him a gun, which was kind of cool, because it's got a bat on it. It's a bat gun. Now, Joker, of course, is going to betray everybody, and there are some pretty funny lines in here by the Joker, but it looks like we're gonna see a showdown between Batman and the Joker, and the winner is probably gonna have to face off with this crazy woman and her legion of Joker-fied people. The art in here is fantastic. There's a few scenes that have people in the background that the faces aren't drawn, and that always kind of creeps me out, but I'm willing to accept that because everything about this book is great. Those few minor quibbles I would have are vastly outdone by all of the other fantastic art and beautifully beautifully done scenes, amazing story. It's a fun adventure. I am really enjoying this book. DC has really not done a lot of great Batman stuff in the last few years. They've had some good stuff, but largely overwhelmingly mediocre to bad. And this is very redeeming for them. Hopefully they can follow this trend and maybe hire Mark Silvestri to write a Batman book, or find other writers that are this good, and some artists that are this good, because I'd be willing to pay $5 every month if the book was good. And unfortunately that is expensive. Paper quality's nice though, so I didn't have that big of a problem with it. But solid art, solid story, you really can't go wrong. If you're looking for a good Batman story, this is proving to be really entertaining. So I'm gonna definitely recommend this. I was pleasantly surprised by how much fun this was and how Mark Silvestri has really improved his style. So all in all, a fun book, definitely worth a recommend. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.
We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Book 7. This is the final installment of the miniseries from DC Comics under their Black Label imprint, which is like in Elseworlds. It doesn't have to be main continuity, so they have a lot of room to play around with the characters. That way they're not tied in unless they want to be. Story and art by Mark Silvestri, colors by Arif Prianto, letters by Troy Pateri. Cover was by Mark Silvestri and Arif Prianto. Edited by Ben Mears and Rob Levin, group editor Chris Conroy. So Batman and Joker are having a knockdown drag out fight, and Batman beats the crap out of the Joker. But unfortunately, there are other players on the scene, including a giant tidal wave that gets everyone separated. And although Amanda, our main villainess, goes after Batman, the Joker is in a little bit of potential trouble. Batman offers to help, but he won't do it because he got what he wanted. Batman, however, does get some help of his own, and we learn what the Joker was after, which sets in motion a protocol that Batman hoped would never have to use. But don't worry, the Joker is not really up to what Batman thinks he is. Or is he? This was a really good ending to the miniseries. I was actually really impressed. I was afraid it was gonna slip at the end, but it didn't. It was a lot of action with a nice story wrapped in there too. There is a fair amount of talking in this one, but it is largely relevant to the plot line. So I really liked this book. I thought it was a lot of fun. I hope they do another mini-series because Silvestri really understands not only sequential art, but also the characters that he's dealing with. And we haven't seen this much testosterone in Batman in quite a while. So it was nice to see Batman actually act like Batman did from like the 70s through the 90s, where he was actually being a hero, he was smart, he was thinking things through, and he wasn't just sitting around brooding all the time and making dumb decisions. Tom King really ruined a lot of Batman for me, I'm sorry. But overall, it was a great book. I had a lot of fun reading it. I highly recommend checking this out. It's a very good action adventure story with some really fun art. So the cover is solid, the interior art is solid, the story was fantastic, just a lot of fun all around. I'm really hoping they do more Batman work, but we'll see. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods, and as always, we hope to see you on the next one.